Hi YouTube watchers, this is Editing Daya here. Just letting you know that at about 17.5 minutes in, the video does cut out. We're really sorry about this. We do try and make our videos as high quality as possible, but mistakes do happen and we hope that you enjoy the video regardless. Thank you and happy Halloween!
Are we recording? Is the sound on? Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of our Creep series.
I'm Daya.
I'm Reese.
And we are
Literally dead. If you're watching this on YouTube and you watched part 1 on YouTube, you might have seen I've had a costume change. I was very hot under the She Ghost costume. And now, for the benefit of the listener, I have changed into the Wicked Witch of North London.
I said the same because I brought one costume and one costume only.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
This might be quite jarring actually. Sorry people. My face is really dry because I have face paint on and it's really drying. So I can barely speak, but you know what? I'm here.
You're talking like you got Botox because you
I
can't
got a
move
fur.
enough.
I got my stripper coat on, my fur coat. It's faux fur, a little witch hat, and a green face. How do I look, Daya? Rate it for the people who can't see.
Well, you know me. I'd always give you a 10.
Aw, thank you.
Is your face not moving that's getting me?
Oh, sorry. Wait,
It's
let me try.
because, you know, like the scene in Cinderella story where it's like, I am happy, but I've had Botox and I can't move my face.
You said it was a 10.
You are a 10. You're a 10.
I give you a 6 at best.
Oh, I hit my
I couldn't move to scream. I couldn't move to scream.
Sorry, I hit my finger. Anyway.
Oh, poor you. Fucking bitch. Anyway, guys, today we're going to be covering Creep 2.
Yay, Creep 2!
In our first part of this Halloween special, we covered Creep 1.
From 2014, not to be confused with the one about the tube.
Yes.
And like 2005.
And if you've seen our specials, you might have seen us cover some of the Creep tapes as well.
Yes, we're completing the franchise.
Yes.
Until Creep Tape Season 2 comes out.
Yeah.
But we'll cover those two.
If it comes out. Ugh.
Oh my god. I hope it does. How's your Halloween going? I hope it's going good. Your October is going well?
Yeah, I hope it's going well. We're really close to Halloween now.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are Halloweening.
Hope you've got nice big Halloweeners.
Ooh. Here, here. Hey. Oh. Stop looking at me. My face is gonna crack at some point. So beware, people at home. Stop laughing at me, bitch. Stop it. Oh, you guys really better be watching this on YouTube.
You laughing, girl?
You're laughing? You think it's funny? Oh, bitch.
Okay.
You just wait till I watch this off and I'm be expressing it how I really feel. You'd be scared then.
I'm always a little scared.
Yeah. Also, I have a nude t-shirt on under my fur coat. So if you guys think I'm flashing you, I'm not.
Yeah, he's flashing you.
Okay, you know I am. Totally. And I don't have nipples.
Oh my god, like the guys from Free!
Everyone loves them, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you like the nippleless look?
What, on like a human being or?
Anyone?
It's fine, I guess.
Okay. Because we know someone who prefers it. You know she does. Oh, shout out because she's listening. Hey.
Okay.
I just can't go without nipples. I don't know. Because, because obviously I'm attracted to men, right? So you think man nipples. They don't do anything anyway. They have no use.
Yeah.
But it's just wrong if they weren't there.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? It'd just be wrong. It just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. I like my men with nipples.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, at this point. Okay,
Right.
Let's start this movie.
Yes.
Do you want to give us a spoiler-free synopsis?
Yes. Sarah, a filmmaker who documents strange people, goes to meet a man claiming to be a serial killer. Now, from here on out, we're going to be doing spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers for Creep 2, we highly recommend you watch the movie before coming to us. Okay, let's go.
Okay, we do it right. So it opens up with a guy, a very familiar scene to how he left off with Aaron in the first film. But this is a completely different guy, but he's experiencing the same issue. He's showing us that he's been given a DVD and it's got very creepy footage in it of, is it someone in a beach post mask?
I'm not gonna lie, the beginning part of this film is completely gone from my mind.
Well, I'll explain with as much as I can remember. He's got creepy tape, but you can't really see who sent him the tape. He gets a knock at the door, he opens it, and it's the creep. He brings the creep into his house, and we're confused because we're like, wait, surely it was the creep who sent him this tape. But he's now friends with the creep. But then he speaks to the creep and he says, look, that someone sent me another one of those tapes. So then you start to realize, oh, the creep is doing something a little different here. He's been harassing this guy with tapes, but he doesn't actually know who's sending them.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, let's just get some beers, man. So the creep...
Yeah, they're having a conversation over some beers.
Mind you, the reason why we can see this is because with the package came the toy wolf.
Oh,
and
yes.
there's a nanny cam in the toy wolf.
And he points when the guy goes to get beers, the creep points the wolf towards them.
Yeah.
And the conversation starts fairly normal. It's like, you know, talking about the stalker, and it's like, this isn't acceptable, like we should call the police. And the guy's like, yeah, but the police won't do anything. And the creep's like, oh, that's horrible, like why wouldn't they do that? And then
the creep is like, you know, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Because our friendship's going to another level. And the other guy's like, I don't know what you mean.
Like,
we're
isn't
just
it
friends.
fine?
Again,
This is
homoerotic.
Homo.
He's like, but our friend, you know, it's going to the next level. He's like, I don't know, we're friends, we hang out.
Don't you think it's strange how we met at the same coffee shop you always go to, and we were reading the exact same issue of the exact same thing?
It's kismet, man.
And how
we're soulmates.
And how I turned up similar time to when you found your first tape.
And that's the moment he starts to realize, oh, which mind you, he says the kismet thing first because he's kind of like, oh, we were meant for each other, we're soulmates. And then afterwards he says the bit about the tape, and it's like he's just admitting now that he's sending them. And that's when the guy's like completely creeped out. And the creep, at this point, from what we know about him from some of the tapes and what we know about him from the first film, would enjoy this or would push this or would play with this.
Yeah.
But he just sort of like can't be bothered.
Yeah.
And then he ends up just slitting the guy's throat in front of us.
He's just, and he talks to himself. He's like, oh, fucking hell. Like, what am I doing? Yeah. I'm 40 now. Like, what is this? Midlife crisis.
I was like, sounds like you.
Me?
Yeah. What am I doing in my life? What is this?
Yeah, but I'm like in my 20s. I should be thinking.
Quarter life crisis, same thing, girl.
Again, you're really coming for me. Like, what?
Shout out to anyone having quarter life crisis at the moment. Very real. Mid, early 20s even. Late 20s even. You're trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do. We see you. I see you, Daya.
I will hit you again.
Anyway, cut to a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we get title card, and then we get a YouTube intro sequence called Encounters, where this girl is running around, meeting all these lonely men, doing all this kind of weird shit. In one of them, she's like a mummy. In another one, like, what was she doing in the other one?
Just like cuddling them.
Yeah.
Doing therapy with them. She just finds lonely men and like tries to interview them, get their stories.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea.
I like it. I will say this, is that as a solo female, like, I don't see...
As in single?
No, as in, like, as a woman on her own.
Oh, sorry.
I don't see it, like, them doing that. I'm not a woman. Anyway, I don't see a lone woman going around, like, meeting all these creepy men without some kind of, like someone else nearby, or someone knowing where she's going, or like some protection or something.
So I get that, but I know this woman.
You know this woman?
Yeah, I met this kind of woman.
Oh yeah?
Who's completely brave enough to go and hang out and meet with strange men that she's never known.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out there.
I guess so. I guess they're just not very common.
No, it's just because they're dead.
She's kind of vlogging after this intro ends, and she's talking about how, she's not getting any views. Like, she's getting 9 views. She's feeling like, what am I doing with this? Yeah. This is not like happening.
I never wanted to make money or be super famous, but I thought I'd connect with people at least, and I'm not even doing that. And
yeah, she's like not sure what to do. She goes to bed, and then in the morning she's like, right, I was a little dramatic, but like, I'm okay now. Like, let's go and do this. You know, we will get there eventually. That kind of thing. And she finds an ad. She finds a similar ad to what Aaron saw in the first movie.
Yes. Was it Craigslist this time?
I don't know what it was.
Might as well have been.
It says stuff like, "Oh, looking for a freelance filmmaker to film me, $1,000. Interview with a vampire fans, a bonus.
Yeah.
And let's go deeper together."
Yeah.
Again.
Now, she could use the money, but I think most of her interest just comes from it being an unusual request.
And art.
And she thinks, oh, this could be good for my page.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she texts him. He says, hi, what's your name? She says, Sarah. He says, do you scare easily? She says, no. He says, are you sure? Yada, yada, yada. And that's pretty much where the conversation ends, as far as we know.
Yeah. The next time we see her, she's in the car and
driving to him.
And she's talking about where she's going and what kind of... She says, oh, he ghosted me as soon as he gave me the location, so I don't actually know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she turns up to the house. She walks to the door. She knocks on it. And I think as she knocks, the door opens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't see anyone. She takes a step in. She's calling, hello, hello. Until she gets jump scared when a blender from the kitchen suddenly goes on.
Yeah.
And she looks, and it's the creep making a smoothie.
Yeah. He offers her one, and they're drinking these smoothies and they're talking.
Yeah. And he has a ponytail now. And a beard.
That's that midlife crisis right there.
Yeah. 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 If you know a man in his 40s who's just grown a man bun and is drinking smoothies for breakfast.
The fun thing about this one is that the creep in this one calls himself Aaron. But now that's why I get confused because he changes his name all the time. So in the first one we did reference him as Joseph, but I'm just going to keep calling him the creep.
Yeah, he'll just be known as a creep from further on. But it is interesting. Take note, he did steal the name from his previous victim.
Yeah. He fully just goes out there and says, I'm a serial killer. I've killed 39 people. Like, I want someone to make a documentary about me to see my work because nobody's seen my work. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need more passion, essentially, is what he says.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't quite believe this, but she's quite intrigued by what he's saying.
Yeah.
He says he's made a career of it, that he has, 49 tapes.
39.
39, sorry. God, I keep adding a 10 years to his life. I guess because it's 10 years now.
Yeah.
But yeah, 39 tapes that he's recorded, and he's also on his 39th year of life, and he's coming up to 40. How do we feel about this vulnerability?
The thing is that he does get more vulnerable and honest in this film because he's straight up he says, I am a serial killer. In the next scene he literally shows the last scene from the last movie where he's killing Aaron, right?
With the axe.
Yeah. And so there is that element of vulnerability there, but there's always a kind of barrier, like a small barrier that you just never quite cross with him. Even in Creep Tapes, which you'll see where he's with his mother, that barrier is still there. There's a veneer you just can't quite peel off.
Yeah, it's very evident from the first film and from this film that he has connection issues.
Yeah.
He has intimacy issues. And I think that even in his most vulnerable state, like you said, that there's still a film, there's still a screen.
Definitely.
Damn, man, this is deep.
This is deep.
Whoa.
So yeah, she watches the ending of the last film and she goes, who's that? Is it your friend? And he goes, yeah, that's my friend.
After she watches the murder tape, he turns the camera to her and he says, are you not scared? Are you not fazed? She says, no. She was clearly just trying to seem bolder than she actually was. Yeah. And then he runs off.
Yeah, he does. He steps out for a minute and Sarah looks around and she does spot the axe from the first movie. This time it's hanging above a window.
Yeah. It's been nailed to the wall like a trophy.
Yeah. Creep enters back in and this time he's just in a towel.
And he's shirtless.
Yeah. And we get a full frontal nudity scene because he just drops the towel.
He says, I want to connect with you, and I just feel like there's this barrier between, especially men and women, where we're just sort of questioning, what each other's bodies look like, and I just feel like we need to answer that question. And he gets fully naked, and she again acts unfazed. Yeah. But full frontal nudity, how do you feel about full frontal nudity in films?
I think it's fine. It's a human body at the end of the day.
Do you think that, what about when it's being used? It's not just he's naked, but he's naked for a reason.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you use anything in a film, it's for a reason. And that, I don't think that you should stop that at a human, naked body. I think that, of course there are limits. You should never, you shouldn't use children, and your actors have to be really, really comfortable with being nude on the screen. And that's fine. Yeah. But I think that as artists, we should be allowed to use the human body and in different ways to tell the stories and to express the emotions we want to express.
I think especially with a character like this, where it's all about personas and identity and real and false and truth.
And I think it's interesting because Mark Duplass is very much well known for playing the creep, but also he is part of the he's part of the creative process behind the Creep franchise as well.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he's willingly going and being vulnerable and like fully showing off his penis like in the middle of the like screen for a good like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
or longer.
I think that shows commitment to your art as well.
I think it does. And I think he makes so many choices in the first film and even in this one. Just again, I think that he's able to because he's part of the process. And I think that it works so well for the series.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think that it's great. The director of this has done, because I believe they are friends. The name is escaping me right now, but the director in this is very good at making his actors comfortable enough to do very interesting naturalistic performances.
And to go places.
To go deeper together.
As you'll see in our part 3 of the Creep Shapes.
But then Sarah out-freaks him.
Yeah,
she
goes, my turn?
My turn?
And he's like, what?
What? She hands him the camera. She stands where he stood and she strips. We don't actually see her nude body, which is, I think, is interesting because the creep chooses to zoom in and focus on her face.
Yeah, and not her body.
Yeah, but you see how far she's willing to go
to
do things, which I think is interesting. And also, it kind of puts Sarah at his level. Not quite, because he's still like, you know what I mean, a crazy serial killer, but like, she tries to get onto his level, which is very different from how Aaron and how a lot of the other victims in the creep tapes do things.
Now, like, a lot of his other victims will, like, come past red flags and they will ignore them. And that's what he's used to. But she doesn't just ignore them. She meets them. Yeah. Right where they are. Now, mind you, she had a pep talk with herself in the car before coming in where she said that she feels like whenever she's on the precipice of finding something or doing something that might actually be what she's looking for, that she gets scared, that she runs away and she never pushes far enough to quite get that thing that she's looking for. I think this is what she's doing. I think she's pushing herself because she's thinking, this time I need to make a difference.
I need to do something to push my art out of its
myself.
Boundaries. And I think that's a very relatable feeling for a lot of artists. You know, you're thinking, how far can I push this, and how far is it just self-indulgent? You know, and how does that, like, you have to kind of compromise, but also push yourself at the same time to make good art. I think
after the nude scene, she takes a trip to the bathroom. She says she needs to go to the toilet. And she has another pep talk with herself. Yes. Where she sort of like raises her hands and has this like method of speaking with herself where she points out all of the red flags. She's like, all of your red flags have been risen. This is the point where you would normally run away. But on the other hand, you might have something here that could be finally what you're looking for. And you know you need to push yourself. On the other hand, he's like, you know, naked in front of you within 3 minutes of knowing each other. Yeah. Red flag. And she sort of like talks herself into thinking maybe this could be more good than bad for her when he calls her from the other room and she says, come in.
Yeah. She exits the room and he tries to jump scare her, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. She's sort of like, okay. And he looks completely deflated. He's like shocked, like so taken aback that this jump scare that he's done in the first film, that he's done in the tapes, that this like, you know, cornerstone of his ritual didn't work on her. He's so phased.
I love it. And then she points out a patch on his beard, which I think he placed there deliberately, because he's like, no, it's just a patch, like a bald spot on like a guy's face, like it's fine. But it does come back later. But I think he did that like deliberately, like that's just like makeup. Then they decide to go for a drive. Yeah.
Mind you, while they're on their way out of the house to go on this drive, he tries to jump scare her again.
It still doesn't work.
He's annoyed. Cut to them in the car. Yeah. She's in the passenger seat and she turns the camera to him driving. He's driving with the peach fuzz mask on.
Yeah, and he's like, aren't you scared driving with me like this?
Well, no. She ignores the mask at first and she asks the question, makes small talk, completely ignoring the mask. And he gets really annoyed and he says, what do you think of the mask? Yeah. She asks him a question like, oh, like, do you go to this route often? He's like, what do you think of the mask? Yeah. And she's like,
can you even see out that thing?
Yeah, I'm a little scared with you driving with it on. And then she starts asking normal questions again. And again, he says like...
He's like, you didn't answer my question though. What do you think of the mask? And she said, oh, I think it's cute. She's out freaking him. I love it.
Yeah, this is his first like peach fuzz moment in this film. Yeah. And she's just unfazed. And he's clearly bothered by it. Yeah. He's clearly like shaken.
I love it though. He says, aren't you worried that I'm going to decapitate you with that axe and just snuggle fuck your skull?
Take it or leave it, girls. And guys,
I'm leaving it.
I'm leaving it.
He takes her to the forest, And I believe this is this the same forest where he took... No, it's not the same forest where he took Aaron, is it?
It does seem like it is. Like he's trying to take her to a water place. But I
Yeah.
think that this water place, this river was supposed to be much bigger than what we saw with Aaron. So I don't think it is the same
Yeah.
exact one, but it's definitely the same ritualistic behavior.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, now I'm going to take her to the waters like I normally do.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the Jesus metaphor again.
Yeah. And then he's very upset at this point because the river is run dry.
Yeah, he scouted the place beforehand
Yeah.
and it was flowing.
And he was gonna do this whole thing, and he was gonna talk while
And he
was
even
in
calls
the-
it a Jesus metaphor, actually.
Yeah, he does. He's like, I was gonna do my Jesus metaphor in here, like, and he's very dramatic.
Yeah.
Like he's a drama queen in this bit, really.
Mind you, important to say, when he told her, he's a serial killer, but he's lost his passion, he wants her to document this.
Yeah.
He said that if she decides to do it, he promises not to kill her for the next 24 hours.
Yeah. Very specific with the 24 hours.
Yeah. Which, if you know him by this point, he's very careful with his words.
Definitely. When he's discussing the documentary with Sarah, he goes, oh, well, Francis Ford Coppola said, like, maybe I'm past my artistic prime, but, like, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying.
Yeah.
And then that's why he wants to make the documentary. And so when he's having his little hissy fit, then Sarah goes, Coppola, what would Francis Ford Coppola do? And then he's like, yes, you get it. And so he sits in the very, like... I believe this is Sarah's idea, where he sits in the, like, almost dry riverbed, like, the water's, like, barely coming up to his fucking butt.
And he's pretending he has CGI water all around him.
He lifts his arms up, like, high, and he's, like, talking, and he's trying to do this thing, and she's just like, put your arms down, like, what are
Yeah,
you
and
doing?
it's like, but I thought it looked realistic because
No.
there's going to be water up to my neck.
No.
Yeah, just like, no. But it's just not going well because he
the
keeps messing up his
Take
speech.
after take after take messes him up.
Well, it's everything. He messed up his speech. The water was already annoying. The position was bad. And then all of a sudden there's a shadow that comes from like a tree
Yeah.
that's now blocking his face. And she's
Then-
like, oh, there's a shadow. And he stops and he just like absolutely
There's
hits
a
his breaking
bird.
point. Oh yeah, at one point there's a bird that's singing. There's a plane
Yeah.
that goes across above and it's like the longest plane
The
ever.
bird, he has a fucking crash out over the bird. It was so funny because he's like, the bird, like every time he started talking, the bird would go, and then he starts throwing rocks at the bird. Honestly, when I direct movies, that's no, I'm not like that.
She is. No, he hits his rock bottom.
Yeah.
And he storms off like he normally does in the woods. And Sarah goes looking for him. And again, this is a parallel scene to a scene we've seen with a lot of his victims.
Yeah,
where
and
he
it's in the first
disappears.
movie.
Yeah, in the first movie, he even disappears in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
where they're looking for him and they're calling his name, and we're waiting for him to jump scare. We're waiting for him to jump scare. He starts making a weird noise, and we think, oh, here it comes. Where is he? But then we see in the corner of the screen, he's lying face down
In the dirt.
in the dirt,
Growling.
growling or groaning to himself in frustration.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Pathetic. So it cuts to nighttime. They're back at the house, and Sarah's kind of talking to the camera. She's upstairs, and she says, "Yeah, we've been here for an hour," and he just sits in the hot tub and he's playing that really shitty song over and over again. And she's frustrated. She's like, "I want to get something." So she kind of goes downstairs to provoke him
Yeah.
into doing something.
She goes in the hot tub room.
Yeah.
It's very dark. Is it outside?
No, I think it's inside, but the lights are just dim.
Yeah. Well, not dim, they're like off. I think the only lights come from the camera.
Yeah.
He sat in the dark listening to his favourite song, which he explains to her is called Sarah's...
Sarah loves her juicy fruit.
And he
because
discovered this song.
he discovers the song from a band who he went to see when he was 15, and then he hung out with the band and went drinking with them afterwards. And when it was time for him to go home, he hitchhiked, and a man picked him up,
And
and
the man said to him, this is going to be a great day.
he's knocked out, and he's pulled into this like forest where the man makes him dig his own grave. He says, "I'm gonna kill you and bury you in your own grave, in the grave you've just dug," and he ends up killing this man.
Yeah. He kills his potential murderer.
Yeah.
And then he speaks about how he laid there with the man all night, his dead body, and absorbed him.
Yeah.
And he says he absorbed something from all of his victims. And from that man specifically, he said he absorbed...
This the disease where you kind of pick at your own hair.
yeah, and that's why he has patches in his beard.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know what's real and fake with this guy. We've heard multiple stories about him being 15 and a child
Yeah.
from the first film and the tapes, and they don't add up together. You
No.
know, he says that he had this experience at 15, and yet he says he was in a facility from the age of 14.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
He's a pathological liar. That's all he does.
yeah.
Sarah then gets into the tub with him and gives him like a neck massage thing. It almost looks like she's strangling him at points.
Yeah, it does get quite feral.
Yeah.
And he's having...
He's having a great time.
yeah,
He's like,
he's growling
groaning.
and groaning and...
yeah.
He's really enjoying it. It gets very erotic, which is surprising because like he has so much homoeroticness.
Yeah.
Seeing him be erotic with women is quite interesting, and honestly, he's quite stilted almost in a way. It clearly doesn't come to him very naturally.
Yeah. Then Sarah decides she's gonna go have a shower, and the creep has her camera, and he's like kind of
Mind too, when she gives him the massage,
yeah.
it's that thing again of her meeting him where he is, because she takes power, which is something that no one else does. Like when she
Definitely.
gets behind him, he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, just like sit up," and he's like, "I don't want to," and she's like, "Just do it," and he does. And taking that power over him again is something we've not seen of him.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too. I really do. I love testing this man's psyche, you know?
Definitely. So then Sarah goes to take a shower, and Creep has her camera, and he's kind of talking to her, but in the way he does talking to his victims from beyond the grave, if that makes sense. Like, he's not actually like expecting her to respond or even hear him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you really inspired feelings of me and inspiration that I haven't had in a long time.
And I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And then he does call out to him, like, Sarah, like, you've been in there a while. And he, like, tries to get her in the shower. And he's like...
Well, he's holding a knife.
Yeah.
And he's filming himself walking to the bathroom, which, by the way, the bathroom has red lights.
Oh, fucking eerie.
You could tell
bathroom.
it's a murderer's bathroom, you know? But he's holding a knife, and he's creeping towards the shower. And he pulls back the shower curtain, and there's no one in there.
Yeah.
And then she jumps out of a closet in the bathroom.
And jump scares him.
And screams at him, and she's got tape all over her face, taping up her face.
I thought it was a face mask for a minute, but no, it was tape.
It was like when you like tape your nose back, get like a pig nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all over her face. And he absolutely falls on his back, screams, is panting, and she's in his face, very feral. She's like totally met him and like at his own game.
Yeah. I like it. It's awesome.
It's amazing.
She's an icon.
Oh, and after she scares him, they both start growling.
Yeah.
He growls a little, she growls, and they just start growling at each other.
It's weird.
Like some sort of like mating ritual. It's like
I
very...
don't know. Then they decide to go outside and play flashlight hide and seek.
Yes. It's a very weird sort of montage that takes place now.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to find her. She's hiding.
Yeah.
And he's got a knife and he's looking around with this like camera flashlight, and then suddenly she pounds up against a window.
And she jump scares him again.
Yeah, and he's terrified. And then next, she's the one running with the camera.
Yeah.
And he's behind her swinging like an axe.
Yeah.
And like it's a game, like it's funny. And she's like playing it with him.
She's a freak. I love it.
So she's talking to him while he has the axe.
Yeah.
And she says, well, no, this is after he had the axe.
Yeah.
And she says, you know, they've had their fun, they've been playing. And she says, when you're holding the axe, do you think about, well, do you want to ram it in my face?
Yeah.
Which was such a weird direct question from her. But again, she's been meeting him at his own game. And one thing we know about Creep is he loves to do this thing where he tries to get into his victim's head and say the obvious horror thing.
Yeah.
So like in the first film when he says to Aaron, like, oh, when you saw the axe, did you think about me hitting you with it?
Yeah. And now
You know,
she's
or-
asking him, are you thinking about him? And now he's forced to say if he actually is or not.
Of course, but she's like paralleling his behavior. Or like in the tapes when he like stops one of his victims, says, you're thinking now, can you like get out of here ahead of me, or am I faster than you? That mindset, that trick he does it in every one of his like kills, and she's using it against him now.
I love it.
She's getting in his head, she's forcing the truth out of him. You know, she's flipped the script entirely at this point.
And now he's forced to say, well, yeah, but then we wouldn't be able to have all the fun we're having. So he's like, yeah. And then they have another interview at the pool. He talks about his victims, essentially. He kind of justifies it to himself because he says, well, they kind of want to die almost because I give them little clues. Like, even in the ad that I left for you, I put interview with a vampire. And I'm like, first of all, how is interview with a vampire a clue? Huh?
It's a red flag.
I mean, to be fair, at this time, was it only the movie that was out, right? I haven't seen the series.
The
but
series, I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he says he leaves clues for them so that they can stop themselves from getting murdered beforehand. But he says, but they don't. They just go blindly. They trust blindly, and so they kind of want to die in his mindset.
They ignore the red flags.
Yeah.
And at some point here where she reminds him that he told her that he wouldn't kill her for 24 hours. And he says, why would you say that?
Yeah.
That would get you in trouble.
I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, Sarah, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's almost like she's reminding him, oh, you can kill me after 24 hours.
It's crazy. Maybe she wants him to come after her so that she can, like, film it for her YouTube.
Yeah. But then we get to the confrontation where he tells her he knows about encounters.
Yeah, they have this thing where he says, "Oh, I never lie," and then he's like, "I know about encounters. You came up here to film it. You didn't come here to make a documentary about me."
Yeah, you lied about being a wedding videographer.
Yeah, I never lie. He keeps saying that over and
Yeah.
over again, and he says, "Do you believe I'm actually a serial killer?" And she says, "No."
Yeah, which puts, at this point, puts a lot of context back on everything she's been doing, because she really has just doubted that he's actually a killer this entire time. Which, as much as she's been meeting him where he is, and we think, oh, she's crazy, she's not as crazy as we think she is.
No, because
she just underestimated him.
Yeah, because the thing is we're going into this knowing he's a serial
Yeah.
killer, but she isn't. She doesn't actually know that he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
She meets all these kind of weirdos online who claim all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
And so how does she know that he's not just another liar?
Yeah. And what kind of, and she says this to him. He says, like, why don't you believe it? She says, like, who would admit it? Like, why would you invite me here to film all this evidence?
Yeah.
If you weren't really a killer.
But what we know is that he's filming it for his own enjoyment.
Yeah. And what he reveals is, he says the reason why he doesn't care about her filming all this evidence is because in 24 hours he'll be dead, because he's going to kill himself. Well, at this point he says,
"Oh, I have a great idea. Why don't you kill me?"
yeah.
Which is really interesting. At first, they tried to do like a kind of axe thing, where he's like lying on the sofa.
Yeah, with the peach fuzz mask on. And he gives her the axe and he says, "You're going to get me." So he lies down and she says, "Any last words?" And he says, "No." And he says, "Oh, wait." And he gives a howl. And he says, "Okay, I'm ready now."
And she can't do it.
Yeah, she seems like she's going to.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to another scene and you see that she didn't.
No. And he says, "That's fine. This is a more passive way, better for a newbie anyway."
He's going to hang himself in front of her.
Yeah.
But when she does nothing, it'll make her, what's the word, implicit? Complicit in the murder.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird thing to do. Again, I can't tell at this point. Is he really, has she broken past an emotional wall of his? And he really is having this weird epiphany? Or is this mind games he's playing with her? And it's always hard to tell.
Yeah. So he does jump off of the stair thing, and he's hanging for a minute, and then she comes and she saves him.
Yeah.
And
Well, the rope snaps.
The rope snaps. Yeah.
Which, imagine trying to kill yourself on the rope snaps. I'd be so embarrassed. And at this point, she's had enough. She's getting ready to leave. She's pissed off. She's like, "That was really fucked up. Why would you do that?" On. Like, no, I'm done. And then he runs into a room, grabs a harness, and comes back. And he's like, Look, see? I had this harness on the whole time. Yeah.
Like,
the noose wasn't connected to my neck. It was connected to the harness.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually going to hang myself. I was just trying to bond with you, and I'm sorry, I'm weird.
It's a cruel joke. I'm so sorry. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Which is something he does all the time. Every time he jump scares, every time he tests a boundary that went a tad bit far, he always jumps in with his, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to be funny. I was trying to lighten the mood. I thought things were getting too serious. Oh, I try to bond with people and this happens." Like, he does it all the time.
Yeah.
But she believes him.
And then, so she decides to stay, and she does things on her terms, kind of, where they play a game, and she says, "We're going to play 2 lies, 1 truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what he says, but I remember that the truth was that he's never slept with a woman.
Or kissed a woman.
Kissed a woman, yeah.
It was never kissed a woman. I can't remember.
He said never slept with a woman, but then she says, "I'll kiss you."
I thought it was that he never had a kiss.
It's because he said he starts with never slept with a woman, and then she's like, "Oh, really?" Like, and then they delve a bit deeper, and then he says, "Oh, well, I've actually never even kissed a woman before."
Oh, that's so sad.
And then
I would have kissed him. Would you?
No, I don't want my first kiss to be with him. So.
You know what he specifically says?
What?
He says, "You know that movie, Never Been Kissed? I should have written and directed it." That's what he says, with like a little like boohoo, woe is me face. "You know that movie, Never Been Kissed? I should have written and directed it." That's the actual line.
That's what you respond. You're like, "Yeah, maybe you should have."
So she says, and this is very in character for her, but she says that she'll kiss him.
Yeah, and she does.
She does, and he does reference to their massage in the hot tub.
He references as her coming on to him.
Yeah, he's like, "Did you not see me in the hot tub? Did I look like I knew what I was doing?" As like sort of evidence that he really has never been with a woman.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we actually see him do something like physically sexual with someone.
That is
I know
true.
it's a kiss, but
Yeah. Apart from hugs, the kiss is the furthest he goes in any of this.
Yeah.
Apart from that one thing in the last episode of Creep Tapes.
Yes, which you will have to look at in our part 3 of the Creep Tapes special, which might be up right now, might not.
Ooh, I don't remember.
Go look for it.
Then he gives her the locket that he gave Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah. In the woods.
Yeah, they go to the woods and
he takes her out there. She's very uncomfortable, but he's saying like, I got something to show you. I want to show you something. And he tells her to close her eyes. And she's like, no. And he's like, are you scared? And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to close my eyes with you. I don't trust you. And he's like, oh, come on, it'll be worth it. Please, come on. And she does. And then he puts a lock in her hand. But it's the same one he gave. Yes, the same one he gave Aaron. It's got their initials on the back. And he says, sorry, I didn't have time to make you one.
To make you your own.
Which, as a viewer of the Creep, we understand that the locket is part of his ritual.
Yeah.
Or like one of his rituals. So when he does this, we realize, oh, is he putting the ritual back on track? Does that mean that he has the mindset of killing her again? Because why else would he be falling back into his rituals?
Yeah.
You know, oh, I didn't have time to make you one. He only makes these for his victims. Dun, dun, dun.
I think he only makes it for his favourites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that not all his victims...
We only see the locket in the entire series, I think 3 times.
Yeah.
3 different people with lockets.
Only his favourites get the little heart locket.
Yeah. He reveals to her, he takes her out, and there's a grave dug in the ground.
Yes.
And he says, it's a grave for us. I thought of the best ending to this film.
Like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. I'm going to stab myself, and you're going to stab yourself.
Yeah.
And we're going to bleed out in there. Mind you, he had sort of like weirdly hugged her or tackled her before, and he stole the knife that she had.
She keeps a knife in her boot, which I believe she mentions in one of her Encounters YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Which she says, I've watched Encounters, I know you keep a knife in your boot. And then he pulls it out and he fucking stabs himself in the side.
Mind you, you're scared he's about to stab her.
Yeah.
Because you cannot trust this man, but he stabs himself like multiple times in the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see like blood gushing out of him. He's really weak, and he hands the knife to her. He says, "I'm not gonna hurt you. Look, take the knife.
Yeah.
Now you stab yourself, and we can die together." Which obviously she looks at him, turns around and bolts.
Yeah,
she says, "Huh?" Bye.
Nope.
She runs into the woods. He starts chasing her. He's holding the camera.
Yeah.
It's got a torch on the camera, and he's weakened, so he's quite slow, obviously, because he's bleeding out.
Yeah, he does eventually catch up.
Yeah, and we see her hiding behind a tree. He goes by a few trees, and he drops the camera and he chases her. We can see her, and he chases her behind a tree.
Yeah.
And it's one of those classic scenes where we don't quite see what's happening. They're tumbling on top of each other. We hear them both grunting.
Yeah.
And we hear stabbing, but we don't know who's getting killed.
Yeah.
But then he gets up and he walks out from behind the tree, and you realize that she's the one that has been killed.
And you're like, oh my god, Sarah's dead. Not my babe, Sarah.
So he points the camera at the grave, throws her into the grave, climbs in it himself.
Yeah.
And he waits a few beats, and then we see him crawling out to the camera.
And he's monologuing to the camera.
Sort of talking about, like, I guess I'm not going to die here today. Sort of realizing that his wounds might not be fatal enough. Yeah. And also kind of Loki changed his mind. But as he's doing this...
In the background, you see Sarah crawling out of the hole, going behind him with
picking up the shovel.
And it's almost, again, parallel to what he does to Aaron in the first movie, where he doesn't turn around even though he should, right? Yeah. And she fucking thwacks him with it.
And it's hard. Like, blood seems to just, like, burst out the front of his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she runs off.
Yeah,
she doesn't take the camera with her.
And you're thinking, okay, is this the movie ending? But no, it's not. Because... Then it is cut to public scenes in the daytime.
Yeah, it looks like a city.
Yeah, and you see Sarah walk into frame. She doesn't address the camera, and so you realize quickly she doesn't know she's being filmed.
Yeah, and she's changed. Her hair is longer. Time has passed.
Yeah, I think she tried to dye over the purple in her hair with like a brown.
Yeah,
and she's on the bus, and he whistles Peach Fuzz song. Which I don't think he actually explicitly showed her before. No. But we know that that's the Creep song, right?
We especially know it from the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Where that whistle was happening on the film that his first victim at the beginning of the film was watching. It's the same whistle. So we're realizing, oh, it is him. Yeah. And it's zooming into her face on the bus.
Eventually, you see her eyes are just kind of like scanning the bus, like seeing who's there, right? And she stops when she sees him. And she looks at him.
She looks down the camera.
And the movie ends.
Yeah.
The movie ends. And this, right, like, we're going into overall thoughts, right? Because I did give this movie a 3.5, but I really do like it a lot.
Interesting. So you rate the first one more than you did the second?
I did, but the thing is, the more we talk about it, the more I think maybe I do want to give it a 4 as well.
Yeah.
The quality difference isn't big between them, but I just...
I give this film a 4, which originally, like we spoke about this before we watched them together.
Yeah.
And originally the first one was rated higher than the second.
Yeah.
But rewatching the second, there's a quality to the second film that is more rewatchable than the first. And that made me appreciate it and knock it back up to 4. So that I rate them both for 4 out of 5 actually. For slightly different reasons.
Yeah. I mean, I might rewatch it or reevaluate my thoughts in the coming days. If I change my like Letterboxd rating while I'm like editing this is completely why. I've just been thinking about the film. Because the thing is I was debating whether to give it a 4 or a 3.5 the entire time. Because I do really like it. Yeah. The thing that lets it down for me is that the fact that is the context, actually. It's the fact that we don't figure out what happens to Sarah, and that's mainly the fault of them not making a Creep 3 as opposed to the Creep tapes, and that's not even that's not even the film's fault.
We are adults. We cannot like...
That's not even the film's fault.
We can't like be annoyed at a film because it was the open ending. Oh, we're adults. Okay. We understand that with like films are not always going to tell us the end of the story.
I know that, but it just felt like it was going to.
Yeah, so it reminds me of my mother. Every show and movie she watches, she'll come like I'll recommend like absolute cinema, and she'll come back and be like, "It was terrible, it was shit," and then she'll describe it. She loved every second of it.
Yeah.
But at the end, they didn't show exactly what happened. It could be like about a family that survives like a haunting. Because it didn't show what happened after the haunting when they like moved to a different house in a new town and what new job they got. She wants to know everything. She wants, like, if you know like black movies, you'll know like the classic scene at the end of the film where they give context to every character and they're like, oh, so and so like became a barber and like is now like the owner of 3 franchises in New York, or like Sarah went back to law school and got her degree. She's now fighting the good fight. You know those movies?
Yeah, I know.
That's what she needs.
But listen,
and people like that, I'm like, come on. Is that what you wanted? You wanted a close-up of Sarah's face and it to say, Sarah died that night.
No.
I'm hopeful. Yes, I am hopeful for today.
That's not what I need. It's just it just felt incomplete because it felt like it was going to show me everything. And the thing is that you see with the Creep in the Creep tapes and in Creep 1 and in even Creep 2 where he's very meticulous in what he does, right?
Yeah.
And so I wonder what the plan, what behind the scenes things happened that made them decide this is how to end the movie, and what made them to decide to do the TV show as opposed to Creep 3.
I'm curious about that too. And I still have hope for a Creep 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the Creep show is doing really well, and it, you know.
And I enjoyed the Creep show delving more into the character. And I love the character even more now. I know even more about him, and I want to see more. I want to see season 2 of tapes. And I also want to see a third film.
Yeah.
I love this character so much, and I've never wanted to know so much about a character. You know what I mean? There's so many horror films that have like, not to hate on anyone's favorite, but like certain like Halloweens and other like horror films that I'm like, did it need this many films?
Yeah.
I wasn't as curious about these characters that I needed to know this much about them, right? Even though some of them are brilliant, right? But this is a character I want to see that. I want 10 films of Creep. I want to know everything. Yeah. I want to know what he did in his younger days. I want to know like what created this person
also,
that we know.
I will say she's a very like, a lot of the time when you have like a female protagonist in a film, she's like generically good. And then they're not that interesting to see survive, in my opinion. But Sarah, she's a very engaging protagonist. Yeah. And I enjoyed her in this. And that's why, like, I do want to see more Creep films. He's a great villain. He's, you know what I mean? I'd like to see, like, at least, you know, a couple more Creep films and a season more of the Creep tapes. But I also want to see the ending of her story.
Agreed.
That's why I'm saying that. I'm not your mum. Like, I'm not gonna say I hate the whole film because I didn't get the ending. I liked the whole film. It's just I just wanted a little more, you know.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what
I think it just needs a third film, but that doesn't shit on the film. And I think what I loved about the film, I think it was a really good sequel. I think sometimes sequels just try to capture the glory of the first film. And this didn't do that. It understood that we had this character now, and what can we do that's more interesting than the first one? We're going to explore and further this character. Yeah. We're going to further our knowledge of this character. We're going to test this character. We're going to experiment with the character. Yeah. And it wasn't just like recapturing the same, you know what I mean? Like series like Scream, etc. You know, which is just like recapturing the same excitement every time.
No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, but then again, the wanting more, maybe that is the reason I should bump it up to a 4 as opposed to a 3.5, because I liked it as much that I wanted more from it. But yeah, that was the Creep 2.
Yeah. and our thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Rate our podcast. We are wherever you find your podcasts.
Our social should be linked somewhere at Literally Dead Horror Podcast
If
or
you're-
at Lit Dead Pod.
And if you're on YouTube, you can check our important links in the description on the
Yes,
top.
you can. And
Happy Halloween!
Happy
Bye!
Halloween!
We'll see you again in November.
Bye!